69 years ago today, Jackie Roosevelt Robinson valiantly changed history with one step. A transcendent athlete with an effortless smile that characterized his Hall of Fame career. Jackie Robinson's courage and tenacity encouraged the youth of a nation to persevere at any cost. Today, baseball and the Oakland Athletics honor the man whose trademark grace forever altered the course of American sports. Friday Night Baseball from the Oakland Coliseum, and it is a day here in Oakland and all around Major League Baseball that we celebrate Jackie Robinson Day. All the Athletics, all the Royals, all the players around Major League Baseball will wear the number 42, including that man, a starter tonight, left-hander Rich Hill. First of a three-game series, it's the Kansas City Royals and the Oakland A's. You'll see it right here on CSN California. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. I'm Glenn Kuiper along with Mark Mulder making his CSN debut tonight. Well, in 2014, the Royals came oh so close to winning the World Series, and they were determined in 2015 to finish the job, and they certainly did that. A regular season saw them win 95 games, 7 All-Stars. They went to the All-Star game in July, and this team, you just couldn't put them away. 8 come-from-behind wins in the postseason, and then when it was all said and done, their first World Series title in 30 years, and it really is quite a team, and it looks like they're going to be good for a while, Mark. And it's a unique team. They rely on a tough lineup, and they rely on that bullpen.
They really do. Ned Yost has a lot of guys to pick from, a lot of good athletes. Defensively, they're as good as anyone in the league. Offensively, the same thing. And then you get to that bullpen. You have to get them early with their starting pitching, because when you get to that bullpen and you got 2, 3, 4 guys down there that all bring that heat, it makes for a tough task coming back on them.
Yeah, still a 6-inning game when you play those Royals. Tonight for the A's, the left-hander Rich Hill will make his third start. He was really good in Seattle as he struck out 10 in 6 innings, and he had good stuff.
He did. He looked very comfortable compared to his first start. I know it came on short notice, but the 6 innings, you see the 10 punch-outs, more on his breaking ball. His breaking ball was outstanding in that game. His fastball command sometimes can get away, but he can be effectively wild with it. He needs to keep the fastball up in the zone to get those swings with the same plane of the breaking ball.
So Rich Hill will be opposed by the veteran right-hander Edison Volquez, who won 13 games last year for the world champion Royals. So it should be a fun weekend of baseball between the A's and the Royals as we get our first look at the world champs. We'll have lineups and first pitch from the Coliseum when we come back. A's Royals coming up on CSN California.
on CSN California is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Taste the Baconlicious Sourdough Bacon Ranch Combo, only at Jack in the Box. And by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places.
Welcome back to the Coliseum on Jackie Robinson Day, all around Major League Baseball. A's take the field. Stephen Vogt leading out the troops, as he likes to do. Let's check the game time weather for tonight. It's presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The boardwalk is open. Visit beachboardwalk.com for park hours. It's a 66-degree evening with a nice breeze here on a Friday night, with day games coming up tomorrow and Sunday. World champion Royals in town. Let's check out their lineup for tonight. All the familiar names, and it's a good team. Escobar will lead off at short, Infante at second, Lorenzo Cain in center, Hosmer at first, and there's Morales, the DH, then Gordon in left. Perez is your catcher. Christian Colon is at third, and Paulo Orlando is the right fielder.
And Rich Hill coming off that brilliant start in Seattle that we talked about. Would like to see that continue on this gusty evening. The wind's blowing a little bit. It's nice and cool, but hey, the pitcher's going to be warm, so we want to see more of that last start tonight.
All right, we've gathered up our papers that were blown off the desk, and now we're ready to take a look at the defense. Davis, Crispin, Reddick in the outfield for the A's. Valencia, Simeon, Lowry, and Alonso on the infield, with Stephen Vogt catching Rich Hill. So Escobar strides to the plate, and we are set for baseball. Mark Mulder, Glenn Kuiper here at the Coliseum. And the A's trying to bounce back after a very difficult series against the Angels, which saw them get swept. So maybe hoping to gain a little momentum after a good weekend in Seattle, and the A's could not do that against the Angels. Hill's first pitch is a fastball up and away to Escobar.
Well, and the A's defense is going to be tested in this game. This Royals team, they make things happen. They try to take that extra base each and every time. Press those issues, steal bags, whatever it might be. They work counts. Each and every guy in this lineup is going to make Rich Hill work.
Pressure on the pitcher, pressure on the defense, and it's amazing that they do that without being a team that really hits a lot of home runs. 2-1 pitch, not close. So 3-1 to Escobar. Escobar hitting .214 with an RBI in the early going. He's got 9 hits and 42 at-bats, couple of triples. Checked his swing, it's outside, and it's a leadoff walk. So that's the way the ball game starts, and Hill will immediately be into the stretch.
And this is where this Royals team, you know, when they get guys on base, they want to disrupt you. As a pitcher, you now have to try to be quicker to the plate. And, you know, he walks the first guy, and you kind of want to get comfortable in the beginning of the game. And you're right into the stretch, and now you got to be worried about being quick.
Hello, plate umpire Mike DeMiro tonight. The crew chief is Brian Gorman at second base, and here's Omar Infante, veteran second baseman. Infante, a tough year last year, battled injuries, but off to a good start this year, hitting .310.
It was still almost an all-star.
Yep. 9 hits and 29 at-bats with 3 doubles so far this year. Ned Yost and the Royals, a season to remember, 2015. Thought it was pretty cool that the Royals, after what happened in 2014, where you literally 90 feet from maybe winning the World Series, and
yep,
you're able to say, all right, what did we learn, and come right back to next year and finish the job.
Yeah, and that says a lot about a lot of these younger guys on this team, because sometimes you get in that big time, you get to that World Series and it doesn't happen, and maybe you get a little lackadaisical into the next year, and boy, they did not do that. Like you said, they almost seemed like they were hungrier. Yeah. You know, they wanted it even worse to get back there.
Well, they won 89 games in 2014 with a wild card team. Last year they won 95 games and won the division. They had the best record in the American League last year. They just rolled right through the postseason. breaking ball stays outside. They beat the Astros in the division series 3-2. That was a pretty good series. They beat the Blue Jays in the ALCS 4-2, and then they beat the Mets in 5 games in the World Series. Well, it's never easy to win it all, but it seems like they had each series pretty much in control.
And they were still a team last year that I think people were still somewhat doubting.
I agree.
You know, even after the 2014 season.
In the hole, Simeon gets a glove on it, but he'll have to hold on to it, and it's going to be an infield hit for Infante.
Well, this is an example. Here's the speed of Infante, the speed of Escobar getting to second base. This ball's hit right in the hole. Really, there's nothing Simeon can do with this. You just have to eat it. You try to throw that, you throw it away. That's the last thing you want to see happen. But you can see him move to his right, and by the time he can get his feet under him, he really just doesn't have a play.
Expo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. So 2 on, nobody out for Lorenzo Cain. There's that big sweeping slider that Rich Hill throws. He got a lot of strikeouts on that in Seattle.
And we're going to see a lot of breaking balls, sliders and curveballs. I personally think he's more comfortable throwing that for a strike than he is his fastball. Which there's nothing wrong with that, but you got to get ahead, and then you got to be able to put guys away with it with that elevated fastball.
Well, that changeup not close, and it seems like a lot of his pitches in the early going up and away, unless it's a breaking pitch. Eric Hosmer to follow. That's a good breaking ball. Snaps in there for a strike. So 1-2 the count.
Well, you can see him with the breaking ball, his fingers on the seam, and you can see the fingers out over the top of the baseball. That's pulling it down, almost like you're pulling a shade down on a window. You want to pull it straight down to get that 12-6 curve.
And that one is looped down the right field line, and it's fair. Escobar will come in to score. Infante goes to third. So the Royals, 3 batters into the game, take a 1-0 lead, and again, really just a hitter that's not trying to do too much. Just put it in play.
No, it's a fastball that's over the center of the plate. He's trying to make contact. He gets jammed on it. Bloops it over the first baseman's head into right field. But this is kind of who the Royals are. They put the ball in play. They don't strike out. They want to make something happen. Doesn't matter what it is, but they get a lot of ground balls through holes, a lot of flares into the outfield.
So RBI number 5 on the year for Lorenzo Cain. And here's Hosmer. Well, this is just the 10th game for the Royals, so at this point in the season, really can't get much of a read on a team statistically. But I think one of the interesting things from last year with this Royals team, and it's pretty much the same team, they had the fewest walks and the fewest strikeouts in the American League. And that's very interesting to me.
Well, it's putting the ball in play, making things happen.
Hosmer, big swing. He missed it. So Hill
what it is,
1-2.
You're making somebody make a play.
Yeah.
You know, they have to, and then when guys do make errors, when they make mistakes, there's the Royals capitalize. We saw that throughout the playoffs last season. They took advantage of every mistake that every team they played against made.
1-2 pitch. Curve is bounced to second. Lowry has it out at second, on to first, and they got him. Double play. Run scores. So Infante scores. No RBI for Hosmer, but the Royals now lead 2-0.
Well, Rich Hill went back to the breaking ball inside, and Hosmer couldn't do much with it. Beat it into the ground. Perfect, tailor-made. You see Lowry with a good feed. Simeon coming across the bag, and Kane can't really go after him and take him out because of the new slide rule. Makes that play a lot easier.
So 2 outs. Here's Kendrys Morales. Fastball high to Morales, the switch hitter. 182 to start the season. 6 hits in 33 at bats. He's got a couple of home runs. Silver Slugger Award as the DH.
And what a signing he was for the Royals.
Yes, indeed. Also won the Edgar Martinez Award as the most outstanding designated hitter. Yeah, he just put it all together.
When you have a guy who can hit from both sides of the plate for power, hitting in the middle of your order.
290 with 22 home runs and 106 RBIs and 41 doubles. Surrounded by a good lineup, and he was knocking people in all the time.
A lot of RBI chances.
3-2 pitch, and a pretty good take by Morales. Almost makes you think when a guy takes a pitch like that, that's what he's looking for.
Batting in the 6th position, the left fielder.
Well, he went back to that breaking ball, and as I said, you're going to see a lot of curveballs, and Morales seemed like he was really sitting on that, and when he recognized it, he knew it was going to be low. Like you said, you don't see guys take it that easy, because that was a good curveball down over the middle of the plate.
First pitch to Alex Gordon is outside. 267 with a couple of RBIs for the Royals left fielder. Gordon hit free agency for the first time this offseason, and when it was all said and done, he decided to stay right where he's always been. Got a 4-year, $72 million deal to stay with the Royals. So he's happy to be back, I'm sure. One and two the count. Perez would be next. Royals with a 2 spot here in the first. So it'll be at least a 30-pitch inning for Rich Hill here in the first.
Well, and you can see Gordon was late on that fastball. I'd like to see Hill go back to another fastball. Gordon being late on that makes you wonder if he's also looking breaking ball.
And a big curveball, and he gets him swinging. So when it's all said and done, the Royals get 2 runs on 2 hits. There was also a couple of walks. A's come to bat trailing 2-0. Robinson Day all around Major League Baseball. Lineup for the Athletics. It's Coco Crisp, Chris Coughlin, Josh Reddick, then Danny Valencia, Stephen Vogt, Jed Lowry, Chris Davis, Yonder Alonso, and Marcus Semien.
Well, Edinson Volquez making his third start this season. You see the 1-0, 1.54 ERA, off to a good start this year after being a big part of that Kansas City success last season. You're going to see a fastball in the mid-90s at times, maybe touching 97, breaking ball and a changeup.
So Coco steps up. 214, a homer and an RBI for Coco Crisp. 6 hits and 28 at bats. He's also got a double and a triple. Coughlin to follow, and then Reddick here in the first. A's trailing 2-0. This one's popped up, foul territory. Christian Colon over, and he had it, and he dropped it. So the ball, when it's in that area, it usually comes back toward the field a little bit, and it did.
Well, it did, and you see, when you go over there, there's those little walls there. You have the dugout steps. It's not an easy spot to maneuver. Much easier for a home player than a visiting. But he did get the glove on it, just couldn't hold it.
So Crisp gets a second chance. Oh, they gave him an error.
That's a tough error.
I think that's a tough error. You're navigating quite a bit over there. I'm not 100% sold that that's an error. So 1-2. Rolled foul down to the far end of the Royals dugout. Quick look at the Royals defense. Terrific outfield with Gordon, Kane, and Orlando. And then on the infield, Colon, Escobar, Infante, Hosmer, with Salvador Perez doing the catching. Mike Moustakas, the regular third baseman, getting the night off. Coco on the ground to Infante, and that's the first out.
Well, our Nissan keys to the game. Number one, we got to bust out with a big inning. This offense has been struggling. I would love to see them put up a crooked number here sooner than later. And then number two, slow down these Royals, as we saw in the first inning, taking advantage of the walks, the hits. They're going to try to steal some bases. They're going to put the pressure on you, and you got to make the plays.
Like we said in the commercial break, that's a Royals inning right there. A walk, a ground ball base hit. Lorenzo Cain just loops one the other way. And that's not a criticism, it's a compliment, because they just put the ball in play. And good things happen because they can run a little bit. Cain will take the RBI. So Coughlin is retired.
Number 42, Josh Reddick.
So they decided that that was not an error. So maybe they heard us.
Probably a good move.
Yeah, I do not think that was an error. So Christian Colon says thank you. First pitch to Reddick is low. Reddick at 242, couple of home runs, 5 RBIs. He's got 1 double. So a double and a home run among his 8 hits so far this year. That one is lined toward left, and that's fair. And Gordon will pick it up, and Reddick has a 2-out double.
I love this swing from Josh Reddick. He has a 2-0 count. Any hitter could be looking to yank something, and what does he do? He goes the other way. And that's the start of good things, because anytime you get pull happy, bad things can happen. But when it's 2-0 and you got you're sure a fastball's coming and you drive something the other way, I love seeing that right there.
Yeah, we started to see it quite a bit last year, and it'll only lead to good things for Reddick, especially when it comes to the batting average. Here's Valencia. Valencia 10 for 32 so far this year. That's a .313 average. Taps this one slowly toward third. Colon on the move. Throws low. Hosmer, a little snow cone, but he's able to hold on. Side retired. So Reddick stranded. We've played one at the Coliseum. It's the Royals 2 and the A's nothing. Baseball on CSN California is brought to you by AAA. What does your insurance do when it's not doing insurance? It should do more. Go to AAA.com for more details. Royals with an early 2-0 lead, second inning. A cool night at the ballpark. That's the biggest glove ever. The thing is if you miss with that glove, well, you look terrible.
Yeah, but if you catch it, you might not be able to get it out.
I mean, look at that. You got no excuse for missing the ball. Salvador Perez, Christian Colon, and Paulo Orlando. Homer and 5 RBIs for Salvador Perez. World Series MVP. Not a bad trophy to have. And a 1-2 pitch, a fastball, and Perez strikes out. So one away here in the second. Here's our Ford right choice. Earlier tonight, before the game, members of Oakland's franchise 5 threw out the first pitch. Blue Monota by the Blue. Dave Stewart, Ricky Henderson, Reggie Jackson. Reggie, unfortunately, not in attendance, but the franchise 5, the 5 best African-American players in Oakland's franchise history, and they were having fun down there. All part of the Jackie Robinson Day celebration here and all around Major League Baseball. 69th anniversary of Jackie Robinson's Major League debut. 1947. So really one of the cooler things that Major League Baseball does, where everybody wears number 42. Back in 2004, Bud Selig, then the commissioner, said this is what we're going to do on April 15th every year. It'll be Jackie Robinson Day.
It's pretty special that they do that.
Yeah, it's really a nice thing that Major League Baseball does. Certainly a well-deserved honor. 10 seasons, 47 to 56. All with the Brooklyn Dodgers. Rookie of the Year in that 47 season. MVP in 49. Finally, he got a World Series title in 55. What they always say in Brooklyn, wait till next year. They finally helped him win a World Series. Curve and a good one. Cologne strikes out. So players who wore number 42 and Jackie Robinson's number was retired in 1997. So if you were wearing it when they made that declaration, well, you kind of grandfathered in. You could continue wearing it if you liked, and a fair amount of guys did.
In those last handful of years, when you did see, as a player, when you saw Mariano with that jersey, it would look funny.
Sure it does.
You never saw it when you played the other teams, and then all of a sudden you see a guy out there on the mound wearing it. You had to think about it for a second.
Well, he was fine. Mariano Rivera can wear whatever number he wants. Ninth place hitter, Paulo Orlando. One and one the count. So Rich Hill looks much more comfortable here in the second inning than he did in the first inning.
Well, we saw with Sal Perez, the first batter of this inning, he went to that fastball quite a bit more. He struck him out. You know, it's just changing things up. Maybe not so many breaking balls, but when you elevate that fastball and get those swings, which he did, and then drop the curveball.
Well, that curveball, Orlando had a good look at it, and he lines it right past Hill into center field.
And this one will spin your hat a little bit. You can see Orlando get that foot down. The curveball was up. That's one as a pitcher. You almost think to yourself, wait, why didn't I catch that? But it's because the ball was by you before you actually got your glove up.
He got actually closer than you think.
Seriously, there's some that you think I should have caught that, but in reality, that ball was past you by the time your glove got up there.
So you go to the clubhouse, look at the replay, and then you realize that that was not going to happen.
There's part of you that wants to see, okay, just how close was that? Because you hear it. You can almost feel it sometimes.
So top of the order in Escobar, who walked leading off the game and later scored. Big swing on a foul tip.
And there's the fastball that I'm talking about. Comes out of the same slot as where his breaking ball starts and then drops. You see it's just above the belt, and it's tough for hitters to lay off, and it's also tough for them to get on top of. So you'll see Hill get a lot of swings and misses, or the bats are underneath it. You can see Vogt holding up the glove right there. He wanted that in the same spot. That one was just away.
So that's his pitch selection for all of his starts so far this year, this being his third. So a lot of curves and sliders.
Yep. Well,
he will drop down from the side a little bit too.
Yeah, he'll sling one from down, change the eye level of the hitter.
Up the middle, center field, and a base hit for Escobar. Orlando, good base running, goes all the way to third. He's very fast, so first and third, 2 outs.
Now batting,
So again, Hill in trouble for the second inning in a row. This one with 2 outs.
Well, and here's another example of the Kansas City hitters getting off speed, and what are they doing? They're going back up the middle, not trying to do too much with it. In Orlando, I mean, give him credit. He never even stopped approaching second base. I was kind of surprised that he was going, but you can see him. He doesn't even. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. That's what the Royals do. They press it. They want to make Coco come up and field that and try to throw him out.
Yeah, it was not even an issue whether he was going or not.
No. And I think a lot of teams are just content. A lot of guys are just content. I'm just going to stop at second base. There's 2 outs.
Escobar takes off, and he's got a stolen base. Second steal of the year for Escobar. So after striking out the first 2, now Hill has to get through a second and third situation.
Well, and that's on a slide step right there. So he's going no matter what. First pitch, we've seen that the Royals have done that a lot this year. First pitch, they're going.
Infante takes a strike, 1-1. Infante had an infield hit in the first inning. There's another good pitch, 1-2. Infante's been a real good hitter for a long time, but last year just .220 with a couple of home runs. Played in 124 games and was banged up. Hill grabs it to first, side retired. So Hill gets out of the jam. The Royals strand a pair. Bottom of the second coming up, 2-0 Kansas City.
Turn back the clock to 1981 on when the A's take on these Royals. 15,000 fans will receive a Stephen Vogt 1981 replica jersey presented by KCA Creek Casino Resort. A throwback to the Billy Ball era, the jersey features Oakland on the front and Vogt on the back. Visit athletics.com/tickets today.
Not that there's anything going on around the ballpark tomorrow.
No,
it's
nothing.
A quiet area. I may get here at like 7 a.m. just to make sure that
get in the parking lot and then finish your nighttime sleep.
If you're coming to the game, how about public transportation? Warriors start at 12:30, A's at 1:05. Exciting times, but it'll be busy tomorrow. Again, public transportation. Vogt, Lowry, and Davis for the A's against Edison Volquez. Volquez, 13-game winner last year. He was 13-9 with a 3.55 ERA, and for the first time in his career, he went over 200 innings, which is the benchmark for starting pitchers.
He's made huge strides the last few years. He was earlier in his career, he was very inconsistent. One day you'd see him pitching and he's throwing 92, you know, kind of always behind in the count.
Yeah.
Could never use his stuff. And the last year or so, boy, he's become so much more consistent, someone to rely on, hence the 200 innings.
Overall, 80 and 68 in his career. That one hit to right field and hit well. Orlando's back, and that baby's gone, and Vogt has the A's on the board. First home run of the year for Stephen Vogt. Oh, it always feels good to get that first one. We'll have to find out what that's all about.
Everybody's got a thing.
Yeah. So here's Jed Lowry. First home run that Volquez has allowed this year. For the A's, it's their 10th home run, and this is their 11th game. A's are 4-6. Trying to get a little better at home. They're really struggling at home. 1-6 so far. But again, only 10 games into the season. Two-0 pitch, fastball in on the hands of Lowry. Interesting development here, Mark Molnar, as you and I had a long discussion about it before we came on the air. The Kansas City Royals are shifting very little, if at all. How about that?
Well,
we'll talk about that after we watch the Stephen Vogt home run.
Well, Vogt got a hanger, and when you hang him, you got to bang him, and that's exactly what he did. He went to that breaking ball. You see him out in front just a little bit, but kept those hands back, and that was right on the barrel. Foot down, recognized the pitch. There's just time. The home runs just sound different, even where we're sitting. Into the right field bleachers.
First pitch to Chris Davis is a strike. All right, here we go. We'll get some info on that for tomorrow's telecast. That hard breaking ball, and it's 1-1 to Chris Davis. So this shift thing, now we talked about it because in the Angels series, between the A's and the Angels, they both shifted, I'm guessing, but maybe 75% of the time. We've seen the Royals hardly do it at all. That one hooked down the left field line, but just foul.
Well, and the Royals obviously have a much different defensive guys compared to the Angels. They're much better, you know, which could lead to some of that. But you know, every organization, it's amazing when you watch this. It seems like teams shift on every single player sometimes.
Yeah, and I think teams are doing it as a philosophy, as opposed to, well, we're not very good defensively, so let's do this. I think
yes, and if you're not good defensively, then they think, okay, this will make us better defensively, which the Royals, best in baseball, even on the young season. And when you have guys that cover the ground the way that they do, I mean, they have no weakness defensively. You know, everybody is above average to superior almost in some of the positions.
Yeah, Perez a Gold Glover, Hosmer a Gold Glover, Kane should be a Gold Glover. He has not won it yet. Gordon's won a bunch. Now 3-2. Volquez trying to get Davis to chase one of those hard breaking balls. second baseman Infante. Playing near second base, but not on the left side of second base. So Davis lays off some tough pitches, and he gets the walk. So a 1-out base runner.
Batting in the 8th position, first baseman, number 42, Yonder Alonso.
And here's Yonder Alonso. During the pregame show, talking to the guys back in the studio, talked about some of the struggling hitters for the A's. Coughlin being one, Davis being one, and Alonso being one. And the common denominator amongst those guys is they're A, all new guys with the A's, and B, they're all coming from the National League. And you wonder, does that have anything to do with it? Maybe, maybe not.
It absolutely could. You're trying to do too much. You're trying to impress people. You're trying to show them this is why I'm here. But I also think when it starts to change and they bust out of it, they're going to bust out of it in a big way.
One and 0 to Alonso. And that one under the glove of Perez. Did not look like it was in the dirt. Either way, Davis goes to second.
That's not something you see from Perez very often. Volquez goes to the changeup and he kind of yanks it. And it must have had a little cut to it or something, because Perez was thinking it was going to kind of sink, but because of the yank, your hand gets on the side of the baseball and right off the end of the glove.
So it goes as a wild pitch. That could have been a pass ball as well. Huh?
Yep.
Ball, it hit the dirt, but it looked like it hit the dirt after the glove. Alonso, big swing, fouls it back. So Davis now at second, chance for the A's to tie the game. Simeon to follow here in the second inning. Vogt has homered. Alonso hits one down the left field line. Gordon over and not get to it. 2-2 the count. Gordon caught it. How often does that happen? Where the position player goes over the wall and lets it go into the stands. And a guy with his jersey number does catch it.
Well, we've seen Gordon in the past make catches in the stands, so.
2-2. Hard curveball from Volquez, but he really snaps that breaking ball, doesn't he?
He does. It's a firm curveball. It's not. It's kind of in between. He doesn't throw a slider. He doesn't really throw a cutter, but it's a hard curveball, usually in the low 80s, and you can see just how tight that spin is.
Volquez is 32 years old, from the Dominican Republic. This one could be playable. Into foul territory goes Christian Colon, and he's got it. So the early season struggles continue for Yonder Alonso. And here's Simeon.
Batting in the 9th position, the shortstop.
Simeon really the only A's hitter that's
Simeon.
not struggling right now. Doing a nice series against the Angels, 4 for 9. Had 4 home runs in his last 4 games. How about that? Outfield shallow and just shaded slightly toward left center for Simeon.
You can see there's a lot of room in that right center field gap. You get a ball and drive it the other way. Be standing on third base.
Now 2-0.
That's a couple times this inning. Volquez has gone 2-0 on A's hitters.
Hard sinker, and now 3-0. 13 balls and 11 strikes this inning. He walked Davis, but as Mark just said, he's been behind hitters. And that one poured in there for a strike, 94 miles an hour.
He's made pitches behind in the count so far, but it's not something you want to continue to do. I want to see that the A's take advantage of these.
And he walked him. Two walks in the inning, and now to the top of the order, and Coco Crisp.
Now batting center fielder, number 42, Coco Crisp.
Crisp grounded out to second in the first inning. Salvador Perez, certainly a real leader from behind the plate. He wants to have a quick chat.
He's quickly become one of the best catchers in all of baseball. We saw what he did in the postseason last year and what he does for this team alone. I mean, most catchers are the field generals. You see him constantly moving infielders, doing little things throughout the game.
Coco takes a strike, and how ironic that, again, for the Royals, the guy who made the final out of the World Series before wins the MVP of the World Series the next year. Davis at second, Simeon at first. And the ball is grounded to the right side. Infante to his left scoops it up. Side retired. Stephen Vogt with his first home run of the year, and that gets the A's on the board. So we're headed to the third inning. It's now the Royals 2 and the A's 1. Third, Royals 2 and the A's 1. Going to be Lorenzo Cain, Eric Hosmer, and Kendrys Morales. Rich Hill with 2 walks, 3 strikeouts so far. Don't know what to say about that first pitch to Lorenzo Cain.
Just a bit outside.
Yeah. And goes with the curveball, and I think you may be right, Mark. He has better control with his curve than with his fastball.
Yeah,
it's a big curve too.
Yeah, and a lot of it's just confidence. You know, when you're feeling certain pitches, some nights you got to go with them, but you can never get you don't want to ever get away from your fastball, because that's everything works off of that.
Three and one now to Cain, who had an RBI single in the first. Dropped the ball down the right field line. And the 3-1 pitch is high, so Cain has to walk. So a little more on the Rich Hill curveball. So in his first start, he did not get any strikeouts on his curveball. In his second start,
now batting, number 42,
out of his 10 strikeouts,
Hosmer.
5 came on curveballs. And the chase percentage, which is balls out of the strike zone.
Yeah. But to me, a lot of that is because of the fastball. When you're commanding your fastball and you can show them you can throw it for strikes in that same plane where that breaking ball starts, which is about belt high, that's what creates those swings and misses, and that's what makes it a better breaking ball. Because if a guy's if they start to sit on it, they're going to look for that one that starts up, which they can drive a little bit, that you're being forced to throw it for a strike.
Hosmer check swing, foul ball.
And that's a great example right there. That's a good fastball inside. You got the check swing. It makes him aware of that pitch. Now, you want later in this at bat, if you want to go back to that breaking ball, that's where that curveball starts.
Cain is a threat to steal. So 1-2 the count. Lorenzo Cain last year with 28 stolen bases. In fact, he's had 28 stolen bases in each of the last 2 seasons. Royals come in 7-2 on the year. Just coming off a series in Houston where they lost the first game and then stormed back and won the next 3. Hill has it. He'll look to second and do the right thing and go to first.
Well, and here's another little slow-mo of the curveball grip. You're going to see his fingers at
Now
the finish here out over the front of the baseball. You can see the middle fingers on that seam, and that's the action right there that creates that spin. Your index finger out over the front, pulling down.
And you're really pulling down on the seams, right?
Yes. Some guys do it differently. They'll move the seams around. Not everybody uses the same seam, but that's essentially what it is. You have to pull on something.
Kendrys Morales walked in the first inning. Gordon to follow. And there's a base hit to center field, and that will get Lorenzo Cain home easily. So Kendrys Morales picks up his 7th RBI. Shoots one right up the middle. So career RBI number 500 for Morales.
Well, in his first at bat, Kendrys Morales walked on a 3-2 curveball that you could tell it seemed he was looking for it. And right here, there's no out in front of that. He was sitting on another breaking ball, it seemed like, and he drove it right back up the middle.
So 5th hit for the Royals so far in the game. Still only one out. Here's Gordon, takes up and in. So yeah, the Royals 3 straight against Houston. In fact, they had a night game last night, so they arrived in the Bay Area pretty late. Curve, and Gordon fouls it back. Over the last 3 years, the Royals, the best road record in the major leagues, combining the last 3 years. Last year 44-37 on the road. But overall, in those 3 seasons, a road record of 136 and 111. So maybe we should not be surprised that they went to New York to win the World Series last year, won it at Citi Field. Think about that World Series, though. In Game 1, the Mets had the Game 1, but this guy Gordon hit a home run in the 9th inning to tie it.
Off of Familia.
Yeah.
Which, if I do remember, he threw him a fastball. I forget what that situation was now.
I think it was a solo shot that tied the game.
But I remember screaming at the TV going, what are you throwing that pitch for?
But they had a lead in Game 5, the deciding game as well. Matt Harvey, that's the game he pitched great. Yep. They let that get away. The Mets did.
They did that throughout the playoffs. Yeah. You know, the big situations coming through with big hits.
Curveball, swing and a miss. Strikeout number 4 for Rich Hill.
Well, and Rich Hill went back to that breaking ball. This is a better one, down and away. You can see Alex Gordon out in front, swing right over the top of that.
Salvador Perez.
And he's not happy about it.
Nope. 2 away for Salvador Perez. Down and into Perez, who struck out in the 2nd inning.
This is the most patient I've seen Salvador Perez. I feel like he comes up and loves swinging at the 1st and 2nd pitches. Doesn't take very often, but so far he has.
There's a shot to left field. So he got a fastball at 90 miles an hour. It was out over the plate. So 6 hits now for Kansas City.
Well, just an elevated fastball. And when it's 1-0 and you're looking dead red,
now batting,
you put a good swing on it. You see just how long that bat stayed through that zone.
So here's Christian Colon. He also struck out in the 2nd inning. Curve stays high. Colon giving Moustakas the night off. Another breaking ball, and it's low. Hayes' defense is straight away for Christian Colon. Ah, it's a thing of beauty. Just that regular defense.
It looks so pretty.
It looks nice. Inside corner and a good pitch from Rich Hill.
And there's a good fastball. That's what you want to see. A few more of those and it'll make that curveball that much better. Right on the inner half.
Remember, Morales, the runner at 2nd base, does not have very good speed. Davis and Crisp, below average arms in left field and center field. Reddick, very good arm in right. Perez does not run real well either at first base. This one's skied on the infield. Simeon grabs it, side retired. A run on the Kendrys Morales RBI hit as we celebrate Jackie Robinson's legacy all around Major League Baseball. 3-1 Royals as we go to the bottom of the bottom of the third. Coghlan, Reddick, and Valencia. It's Edison Volquez. A couple of walks. He's not struck anybody out yet. First pitch to Coghlan, in for a strike to Volquez, or from Volquez. That curve misses. Infield straight up, outfield shifted a little bit toward left center. Coghlan grounded out to the shortstop in the first inning. He's DHing tonight. Perez sets up inside, and the fastball got in on Coghlan, and he skies one toward Kane in center. 1 out.
You can look like Sonny Gray with your very own striped socks, presented by Black Bear Diner at the A's first Little League Day this Sunday. 15,000 fans will receive a pair of striped socks made famous by the A's ace, Sonny Gray. Get more information and purchase tickets today at athletics.com/promotions or by calling 877-493-BALL.
So you get a jersey tomorrow, you get socks on Sunday.
Maybe Sunday I'll just wear both.
Yeah, well, that's true. Then you got half a uni going. Reddick doubled down the left field line in the first inning. 1 of 2 hits for the A's. Good curve there. Perez setting up inside.
Well, you can see Volquez hitting his right hip with his hand. That's kind of what a pitcher does sometimes when you're mad at yourself for not staying back. And you can see him rushing. That's why that fastball's elevated.
So when you say rush, I mean, are you just rushing your windup a little bit, or?
Yeah, you're falling down the mound before you're ready. You know, and guys do it for some. I don't know if I ever. Well, I fell down the mound, but the point is, I never really hit my hip like some guys do. It's just out of frustration. But you lift your leg, and your body's already kind of moving down the mound, as opposed to getting set up above the rubber. You can see you kind of collect yourself, but his weight's already going forward. And every pitcher does that. It's just a feeling. It's not something you can really see a big difference on video. It's more of a feeling that the pitcher feels when you can just feel you're out of sync a little bit. Your arm's playing catch up the whole way down the mound.
So his third walk. No strikeouts, and here's Danny Valencia, who grounded out to end the first inning. In for a strike. 93 miles an hour. Had a little tail to it. He's got quite a bit of movement on his pitches. Oakland has been around a fair amount. Started out with the Texas Rangers, then Cincinnati, San Diego, the Dodgers for a short time, Pittsburgh, and now Kansas City. Just getting back is Reddick. Pretty close play.
Well, Perez so quick back there with a really good arm. You can see just how quickly he turns and fires that perfect throw down to Hosmer, and Reddick back in safe. He's one of the best back there. You see that gold emblem on his chest protector. There's a reason for that.
Nicely blocked there. So the count 1-2. Interesting note on Edison Volquez. He said he started his career with Texas. He was traded from Texas to Cincinnati in December of 2007 for Josh Hamilton. How about that?
I knew he'd been with a few teams. I didn't realize he'd been with that many, though.
Yeah. 13 wins for Pittsburgh in 2014 and 13 wins last year. Right to the shortstop, out at second, and Hosmer is able to go back and get his foot on the bag. Side retired, so 6-4-3 on the double play. Nothing for the A's in the third. We're going to the fourth. It'll be Orlando, Escobar, and Infante, and the Royals are leading 3-1. Brought to you by Coors, the banquet beer. Game 5, 2015 World Series. As Wade Davis strikes out Wilmer Flores and the Royals. The Royals become the first team since the 1989 Athletics to win the World Series after losing the World Series the previous year. That's a beautiful look at the Royals ring. 2015 World Champions. Won it in 1985 as well. And they want to do it again. They got a window, if you believe in that window thing. Got a bunch of free agents coming up in a couple of years. But they'll worry about that when that time comes.
Yeah, the core of their team, they're going to be together a little while now.
But 1-1 the count to Paulo Orlando. Shoots that one foul. Question is, can anybody challenge the Royals in that American League Central Division? We shall see. So far, the White Sox off to a good start. White Sox won again today. They're now 8-2. 2-2 pitch, a swing and a miss. Strikeout number 5 for Rich Hill. So this is the final out of last year's World Series. Wade Davis on the strikeout, and the celebration begins in Kansas City.
Escobar.
So they celebrated in New York.
I mean, since going to the bullpen, how nasty is Wade Davis?
Yeah, he's unbelievable. He may be the best closer in baseball.
I mean, that was only, what, about a 92-mile-an-hour cutter inside that he threw for that last pitch.
No big deal. Inside corner strike to Escobar.
Well, now we're seeing Rich Hill this inning. He's only thrown 1 breaking ball in this inning. All the rest have been fastballs, and he's been pounding that strike zone.
Went in there again. So 1-2 to Escobar, who has walked and singled. He scored a run and stole a base. A liner into the glove of Simmons. So 2 outs. Rich Hill looking for his first 3-up, 3-down inning of the game.
Number 42,
well, lots of times for a pitcher, sometimes it's just comfort.
Infante.
You know, maybe a couple of these innings he hasn't been as comfortable with that fastball than he was with the curveball, and now all of a sudden he's found something with the heater, and he's going to it. But either way, I like it because it's keeping these hitters off balance, and you can see the swings aren't as good. A couple fastballs have been fouled off late, or they're just expecting more breaking balls and getting the heaters.
And another fastball. So Hill jumps ahead of Infante, 0-2. Infante singled and scored in the first, and then grounded back to Hill in the second. They're ready. miles an hour on the fastball.
There's an elevated fastball. You change the eye level. Now you can maybe try and bounce a breaking ball or down and in a back foot slider.
reached for, looped into right center. Reddick dives. He cannot quite get it. Kicks away towards center field. So Infante will be at second base. Reddick could not quite get it.
Well, Reddick had a long way to go. Infante out in front of this breaking ball, hits the liner, but Reddick, as far as he went, still almost got there. Just out of his reach. And luckily it didn't carry him too far away.
A runner in scoring position. It'll be a double for Infante. Lorenzo Cain. First pitch curve, first drive.
I'd be very careful with Cain here in this spot. You know, there's 2 outs, there's an open base, you have a lefty on deck. Just kind of keep things away from him. Don't give him too much to hit.
Fastball.
Or you can just go right after him and get 0-2.
Maybe looking for a breaking ball. Who knows? Cain, an RBI single in the first, and then he walked and scored in the third. So he's been right in the middle of all the scoring for Kansas City. Big curve, and Cain stays alive. Lots of pitches for Rich Hill. 91 with 2 outs in the 4th inning.
The Royals will make you work. A lot of foul balls.
That one hit very high and deep to left field, but well fouled.
Well, that's the first time we've seen him drop down. That ball was middle in, though, and Cain just out in front. I mean, he didn't back leg it much, did he?
He got what he liked.
Yeah.
Strike 3 call. The fastball on the inside corner. Cain disagrees. Infante is stranded at second. So bottom of the 4th coming up. Royals 3, A's 1.
Follow Athletics Baseball live with the MLB.com at-bat app. Stay up to the moment, any moment, with game day, live game video highlights, StatCast news, and more. Download MLB.com at-bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet.
Bottom of the 4th inning here at the Coliseum. Mark Mulder, Glenn Kuiper. You're watching A's baseball on CSN California. Vogt, Lowry, and Davis. Vogt with a home run in the 2nd, his first of the year. Edison Volquez came into the game tonight after his first 2 starts. He had 15 strikeouts in 11 2/3 innings. Tonight he does not have a strikeout. That's the biggest shift we've seen tonight from the Royals, as Infante out in shallow right field. Escobar over, but not on the right side of second base. Vogt lays off that hard breaking ball.
Well, and earlier you see a hanging breaking ball from Vasquez. Stephen Vogt out in front a little bit, but puts a good swing on it. First one of the year. Maybe he's telling him, okay, no more talk, because quiet, I finally hit one. Got that first one out of the way.
And now 2-2. Vogt last year with 18 home runs and 71 runs batted in. Saw that breaking ball. No batting gloves for Stephen Vogt. Who needs it, right?
Most guys.
Just about everybody.
Yeah.
Hosmer can't get it. Infante does, and then he drops it and floats aboard.
Well, here's an example where this shift can get you. This ball not hit all that hard, but once it gets by Hosmer, Infante is so deep, even if he comes up with that cleanly, he still might not get him. And Vasquez didn't get off the mound the way he should have. He kind of hesitated, thinking Hosmer was going to get it. It would have been bang, bang, but that makes a tough play, and it's not something you exactly practice. It's just a tough play all around. It makes for a longer throw, and Vogt might not be the fleet-footed guy, but he still probably would have beat that one out.
So here's Lowry. They're going to give Vogt a hit on that. Lowry hit a fly ball to center field in the 2nd inning. Missed again, 2-0. Chris Davis to follow. 7 hits in the game for the Royals, 3 hits now for the A's. There's not been an error. Off of Volquez to Escobar, who bare hands, and he throws to first, and they got him. What a play by Escobar, the shortstop.
Well, if you were watching highlight shows last night, Escobar made an over-the-shoulder catch, and here's another example that shows his athleticism. You see just how quickly he changes directions off after it goes off of Volquez's glove. And Escobar's right there, bare hand. Clean play, great throw. Gets him by a step. You can see he gets it right in the palm of his hand. And it's amazing he got that much on it. Quick release. What a play.
It changed directions too. So Vogt now at second. Here's Chris Davis, who walked in the second inning. Curveball for a strike. Gold Glove winner last year. They're all over the place for the Royals.
They really are. They really don't have much of a weakness, or a weakness at any position, I guess you could say,
Above
defensively.
average everywhere.
Yep.
On the ground, center field, a base hit. Here comes Vogt. Here comes Kane's throw to the plate, and it is late. And Stephen Vogt scores. So Chris Davis gets his first RBI as a member of the Athletics, and it's 3-2.
Well, a fastball middle of the plate, and Chris Davis, you could tell he was a little angry. Didn't swing at the first pitch, which was a hanging breaking ball, but gets a fastball, puts a good swing on it. You can see Escobar shading him towards left just a little, can't get there, but Lorenzo Cain comes up with a great throw, and Vogt, who got a good jump coming off second base, scores a lot easier than it maybe first thought, but you can see him drag his foot right over the plate, sliding to the outside in case there's a swipe tag. You don't have to be fast to be a good base runner. He got a great jump, and that's why he scored on that. He read it right and never slowed down.
So here's Yonder Alonso. So the A's with a run in the second and another run here in the fourth. And there's no secret, and I think if you're in the A's dugout, you know it. What makes the Royals so good? A 6-inning game.
Yep.
The bullpen is terrific. It has been for a couple years. It's good again this year. And I gotta imagine it's hard not to think about that if you're an A's hitter saying, if we got a chance, we got to get to this guy. We can't wait. Driven to center. Kane quickly back. So Alonso hit it hard, but right at Lorenzo Cain. 2 outs.
Yeah, you wait around too long, and the bullpen starts coming in for this with this Royals team, and you know, you're not doing a lot of damage, especially when they're somewhat rested. When the starters go deep enough that these guys, they have enough options down there that it's not like they have to use, say, the same 2 or 3 guys.
No, they can switch it up.
They have a full bullpen of guys with some good stuff, and that makes Ned Yost's job a lot easier.
So Marcus Semien hits. He walked in the second inning. 64 pitches for Edison Volquez. Close pitch, but outside. 95 on the radar gun. Second inning, 28 pitches from Volquez, so that's kind of the inning that got him. Defense straight away.
Well, you can tell Volquez is fighting it a little bit.
Yeah.
You can see a little frustration from time to time. He generally does pound the strike zone a little more than he has tonight. And even some of his pitches that he's had called strikes, he's missed location.
pulled off a little bit there. 1-2 the count off speed pitch.
And here's an example. You can see Perez wants this breaking ball down and it's up. That's what I'm talking about. He's just missing his spots, getting away with some of them, other ones missing in a good spot.
In the air to left, but playable. Gordon is there. Should be out number 3, and it is. But the A's get a run. Chris Davis with an RBI single. So through 4 at the Coliseum, it's 3-2 Royals. A big win last night in Los Angeles. The Sharks and the Kings are at it again. Game 2 at the Staples Center. Our coverage begins 7 p.m. with Sharks pregame live. Don't miss a moment on the home of the authentic Sharks fan, CSN California. So tomorrow night, tune in at 7. And then they'll drop the puck at 7:30. And then Monday and Wednesday at the Shark Tank for games 3 and 4. So the Sharks lead that series 1-0. Here at the top of the 5th at the Coliseum, it's Hosmer, Morales, and Gordon, with Fernando Rodriguez starting to throw. A lot of pitches for Rich Hill tonight. That was pitch number 95 through 4+ innings.
I'll say for throwing that many pitches, though, he's battled.
Yep.
He's made some pitches when he's needed to.
He's got 6 strikeouts and 3 walks. Hosmer is 0 for 2. Hit into a double play that scored a run in the first, grounded the pitcher in the third. Curve, but it stays inside. Hosmer had a big postseason last year. Royals played 16 postseason games, and Hosmer had 17 RBIs in 16 games. He was a star. Alonso takes it himself. He likes to do that. 1 out. Why not?
I always feel like every first baseman, if you can get there and take it yourself, you should. It just eliminates anything else. Sometimes those plays, like right there, if he flips it, he's so close to Rich Hill, there isn't a need. So if you can take it yourself, take it, because it's a lot safer. It's the better way to do it. Mistakes can't happen when all you got to do is run to the bag.
Yeah, and he does it most of the time. Kendrys Morales has walked, and he has singled in a run. Had to be a time a couple years ago where just weren't sure which way the career of Kendrys Morales was headed. He just did not look like the same player. Of course, he had the ankle foot injury that seemed to hold him back for a couple years. But whatever happened in Kansas City, it clicked again. And he is very, very dangerous.
I think more than anything, it was the injury. It just took a lot longer. Not necessarily for it to heal, but.
And he's got another hit. Drops it in front of Chris Davis. So 8 hits now. Switch hitter.
We could see him out in front of that curveball again, but everything just stays back. Catches it off the end of the bat. But he does this from both sides of the plate.
Number
You know,
42,
that's the thing. It's not like there's some guys who are switch hitters are much better from one side. He can hit for power from both.
Nothing like a switch hitter in the middle of your lineup. You don't see it a lot.
No.
First pitch to Gordon. Gordon no luck tonight against Rich Hill. He has struck out twice, both times swinging. There's that sweeping curveball. 2-0. Like everything is final in the American League except this game. We'll run through the scores in a little bit. There's a shot to right and a base hit. So Gordon kind of waiting around to see a fastball. He saw one and he kind of tomahawked it. So 2 on 1 out, and that's going to do it for Rich Hill. So 106 pitches, and that's enough for Rich Hill. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Rodriguez coming in, 3-2 Royals.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Oakland Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
So Rich Hill is finished at 4 1/3 innings. So he throws 106 pitches. 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, but 9 hits. He did not have a 3-up, 3-down inning. So 2 on, 1 out. Fernando Rodriguez comes in to face Salvador Perez. And the Royals with a couple of singles trying to get right back after it after the A's closed the gap to 3-2. 5th appearance for Rodriguez. One and one the count so far tonight. Salvador Perez, a strikeout and a single.
Well, this is where you can try and get Perez to try and chase something, get that ground ball double play.
That's what the A's are looking for. Rodriguez last pitched on Wednesday against the Angels, pitched a couple of innings, gave up a run. .92 miles an hour, but low. So in the driver's seat count-wise is Salvador Perez. Up and in, and he walked it. So the bases are loaded for Christian Colon. Well, Perez, an aggressive hitter.
Now
Not crazy about walking, but he did a pretty good job there being patient.
Yeah, a few of those pitches were a little ways out of the zone, and even for him, as aggressive as he is, he was letting those go.
Christian Colon has struck out and popped to short. Taps this one. Valencia has it. He'll go to second for one. Back to first. Got him. Huge double play turned by the A's. 5-4-3. And the Royals load the bases but do not score. How about that? Bottom of the 5th coming up. A's will have the top of their order. 3-2 Royals.
The best ticket deals in town with Rapid Deal Days presented by Baltimore. $5 Rapid Deal Day tickets are still available for the May 3rd game against the Mariners, which is also a Chevy free parking Tuesday. Visit athletics.com/Bart today to get your tickets now.
(3-2) Royals leading. It's the bottom of the 5th. Just another reminder. If you can, take public transportation tomorrow. Take Barton. Warriors playing at 12:30. A's at 1 o'clock. It'll be a busy parking lot. So make it a little easier on yourself by taking public transportation. Top of the order for the A's, but Coco down in the count 0-2 quickly. Coghlan to follow, and then Reddick. .94 inside, so he's not afraid to at least try to pitch inside.
No, he doesn't. He throws a lot of those sinkers off the lefty's front hips that come back, and that was a great pitch right there. And Coco, that's a good job of fouling that pitch off.
29 balls, 42 strikes. Again, 3 walks, no strikeouts for Volquez. Coco tonight has grounded out twice to the second baseman Infante. Outfield is pretty much straight away and shallow for Coco. Good take there on it. Maybe a changeup.
Yeah, it's a good changeup.
87
down.
miles an hour, but he hit that hard change. Breaking ball, and it spins inside. 2-2. He's got good stuff though, Volquez.
That's why I'm shocked he has no strikeouts yet, because he has strikeout stuff.
He got some similarities to his teammate from last year for a while, Johnny Cueto. Of course, Johnny Cueto got a few more things going on with his windup, but stuff-wise.
I mean, last year in the playoffs, he was up to 98 miles an hour with that fastball and the breaking ball and change. There was some electric stuff.
3-2 pitch. Coco chase ball 4, and that is the first strikeout. Looks like Coco about halfway into that swing knew that it was a bad idea.
Yeah, he'd laid off such good pitches earlier in this at bat, and you could see it's almost like he thought it was a breaking ball, and then at the last second tried to hold up, and by then it was too late.
So Coghlan will step in with 1 out. And that curveball really snapped in there for a strike. Coghlan a ground out to short and a fly ball to center field. He's over his last 17. Coghlan early on had a couple big hits for the A's, but not been able to build off that. And a changeup, 85 miles an hour, catches the outside corner.
Well, you can see Coghlan just couldn't quite make up his mind. You can see that changeup. It basically has the same movement, comes out of the same spot as his fastball.
A little pop up on the infield, and Escobar's right there. 2 outs. Well, the struggles continue for Chris Coghlan. And Reddick will hit with 2 outs. So 4 in a row retired by Volquez after that Chris Davis RBI single.
Reddick.
Ball is high. Reddick with a double and a walk. reaches for that one, pops it up, foul. In that Angels series, the A's offense in the 3 games scored just 6 runs. So it was a quiet 3-game series for the Bats. Offense has just not been able to get going just yet. This is the 11th game of the year for the A's, and they have scored 29 runs. But they will at some point start to get rolling.
Sometimes it just takes that one game, that one inning, where things start to click, and then you roll off that. Things continue, they roll into the next game and into the next one. You keep putting good at bats together. They've had some good at bats tonight. You got to try and build off that, and all of a sudden couple guys get some big hits. Things start to change, and the attitude changes, the mindset changes.
Two pitch is hit in the air toward Alex Gordon. Moves over near the line. He's got it side retired. So that's the first 3-up, 3-down inning for Edison Volquez, and we're moving to the 6th. Playoffs are on our sister station, CSN Bay Area. Tune in Saturday, that's tomorrow. Coverage before the game. The Warriors Playoff Central at 11:30, and then post-game. And then on Monday, Game 2 will be on CSN. Coverage begins at 6:30. The home of Warriors Playoff Basketball is CSN. So again, see the game, Games 2, and also don't forget Game 3 will be televised on CSN. Not Game 1, but Games 2 and 3. So, exciting time for the Warriors.
Boy, are they fun to watch
as they get ready to roll through the postseason. Yeah, they.
I mean, seriously,
ridiculously good.
Well, I grew up on the Bulls teams.
Yeah, you did.
Mid-90s.
Yeah.
You know, that was all my grade school, high school, all of that.
So you have a legitimate soft spot for those teams.
Exactly.
Just one time, it'd be fun to push the clock back or move it forward. The Bulls and the Warriors can play each other. Good breaking ball, and Rodriguez with the strikeout. This was Wednesday when they set the NBA record for most wins in a regular season. 73. Still a hard number to believe. 73 and 9. But then you start going, wait a minute. I don't remember them losing 9 games. Who did they lose to?
I know.
I can't even remember like 5 of the losses.
Well, halfway through the season, I think I kind of thought they were going to lose maybe 5 games.
Yeah. Well, they didn't lose till December. So we wish them the best of luck. Big over-the-top curveball to Escobar, and it's right there for a strike. Rich Hill went 4 1/3, so Fernando Rodriguez on in relief. Another curve. This one not quite as down, but still a strike. Escobar, walk, run scored in the first, single stolen base in the second, then he lined out to short in the fourth. A little flare, and that's going to fall for a hit. So take 2 curveballs for strikes, and then swing at a fastball that's up, and it bloops for a hit. That's what happens when you put the ball in play.
Well, you can see where Vogt wanted that. He wanted it a little bit up towards the neck to maybe set up a next pitch breaking ball. And Escobar, to his credit, we see this a lot from the Kansas City Royals with 2 strikes. They shorten up, they find a way to put the ball in play, and the ball finds holes. I mean, that's a good piece of hitting right there.
Escobar, very good speed. Here's Omar Infante.
If the Royals are going to steal a bag, they generally do not wait around. They go first pitch lots of times. They're not waiting much till later in the count.
Escobar had 17 steals last year, but that was his lowest total in his years with the Royals. The year before that he had 31, so he is a legitimate guy. Last year stole 104 bases, second most in the American League. Decent lead, and Rodriguez will keep an eye on him. Royals now have out-hit the A's 10-4. Down the right field line, but foul. So 1-1 the count with Lorenzo Cain waiting in the on-deck circle. His defense straight away for Infante, who generally sprays the ball all over the place.
With Alonso holding on Escobar. You want to be careful of a slider down in the way here where Infante can just kind of shoot it the other way.
Again foul, this one straight back, so the count remains 1-2. Big night for Infante. 2 for 3, single, a double, and a run score. Fastball at 89, but high. Zepchinski is starting to throw, the left-hander out in the A's bullpen. Escobar inching off a little bit, not going, and a swing and a miss. So Infante fouled off a bunch of pitches, but in the end strikes out.
Well, Rodriguez went with a little cutter slider right here. Doesn't have a lot of movement, but enough that it has Infante out in front. Just a very well located pitch, down and away.
So now with 2 outs, Lorenzo Cain will hit. Escobar still at first base. Cain knocked in a run with a single in the first inning, his 5th RBI of the year. He also walked and scored in the 3rd, struck out looking in the 4th. So that's a first. I just saw a hitter untie and tie the batting glove twice on the same hand.
Yeah. Must not have felt right the first time.
No, it just didn't quite feel right. Got to do that.
Well, hey, at least
it's a pet peeve of mine, Mark. Get in there and hit.
At least they're not stepping out of the box and doing it, or stepping out in order to do that. At least they're keeping them in the box now. Dirt doesn't feel right.
No, of course not. Of course not. A little bit inside, 2-0. Gotta do that.
No.
Yep.
I bet you half the hitters sometimes don't even realize they're doing it.
Oh, I agree with you totally. I think you're absolutely right. It's just a habit.
Yep.
Remember, Nomar Garciaparra had a whole little thing he went through, and I wonder if he really even knew what he was doing.
The toe tap, the whole deal. I mean, I understand the routine thing. You know, a lot of guys have it, but some in the past they used to just last too long.
Exactly. It has gotten a little bit better.
Yep.
2-1 pitch, and now 2-2. 94 miles an hour with some pretty good movement from Rodriguez.
Yeah, that was a great fastball down and away. Look at the downward angle. I mean, that fastball's going down. It's coming back to the plate a little bit. Perfectly located, and Cain just couldn't do anything with that. Kind of see him like, all right, I see that.
Escobar has made no attempt to run. Now full count, and he will run. Stephen Vogt steps out in front, lets the middle infielders, or all infielders, know. Throw to first on a ground ball. Escobar goes, and the ball's fouled straight back. Good velocity from Rodriguez, 94 miles an hour.
You'll see with Cain, when he gets in the box, he kind of he waggles his hand. This is a situation where if I'm a pitcher, just kind of wait him out. Let him do that. Let him start to feel a little uncomfortable and then go. Sometimes hitters will try to call time, but it's just to try to mess up the routine a little bit.
So Kane walks for the second time. And with Hosmer coming up, Bob Melvin's coming out. And he's going to go with the lefty, Sabjinski. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. It's your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts.
With sound, presented by Ross. 15,000 fans at the Saturday, April 30th game will receive this one-of-a-kind giveaway that actually plays the A's closers walkout song. Get your tickets today at athletics.com/tickets or by calling 877-493-BALL.
So Mark Sabjinski comes in. Doolittle and Sabjinski, the two lefties in the A's bullpen. One job for Sabjinski, and that's get Hosmer. Hosmer's 0 for 3 tonight. So Escobar is at second, Kane at first. Very good speed on the bases. Appearance number 5 for Sabjinski, yet to give up a run. Hosmer takes, and again called the ball 2-0.
Well, tried to go with both sinkers there, missed down and in on the first.
Two for 12 in his career against Sabjinski. The 7 strikeouts certainly jumps out at you. Hosmer swung at a ball, and it's 2-1.
Lots of times you see the lefty relievers, they instantly go to breaking balls away. Zabchinski's not really one of those. He'll pound you in, the lefty in with a sinker. Try to throw that sinker right under your hands.
Well, Hosmer chases again, and it's 2-2. So maybe just not picking up Sabjinski.
Well, there's a lot of movement there too, but he used his aggressiveness against him. Really hasn't thrown a strike yet, and we got a 2-2 count.
Dole quickly warming up. Well, with that Royals bullpen, you just got to keep it as close as you can. And now 3-2, so the speedy runners on the bases for the Royals will take off. have a quick meeting on the mound. This inning has hit the brakes, hasn't it?
It has. It's slowed down real quick.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So Hosmer went out of the strike zone 3 times. He ends up striking out. So Sapchinski comes in and he does the job. So 3-2 Royals leading the A's, and it's the bottom of the 6th inning. Edison Volquez through 5 innings. He's given up 4 hits. He has struck out just 1, and he's thrown 84 pitches. It's Jackie Robinson Day all around Major League Baseball. Everybody wearing the number 42 of Jackie. Valencia, Vogt, and Lowry here in the 6th. Quick 0-2. Valencia has grounded out twice. Last time it was a double play. Volquez said, why not try it again?
Well, Valencia is another guy looking for his first home run. Someone hitting in the middle of this order. Just hasn't found it yet.
He'll hit plenty when it's said and done. And another breaking ball, and Valencia chased it.
Well, Volquez, as you said, went back to that breaking ball. The last pitch was a little too far out, so he got it just down over the middle of the plate, and that's what you're doing. You're trying to let that hitter know or make him feel like that ball's going to be a strike out of the hand, and it drops underneath the bat and swing right over the top.
So 6 in a row retired by Volquez. Had a really quick 5th inning. Strike call to Stephen Vogt. Vogt has homered and singled, and he has scored both of the A's runs as John Axford starts to get loose. Astros beat the Tigers tonight 1-0 in Houston. Keuchel over Pelfrey. That was Keuchel in 8 innings. doing his thing. Astros got a run in the very first inning, and that was it. So Houston gets its 4th win of the year. Breaks their little 3-game losing streak. Tigers now 6-3 on the year. A's will see the Tigers on their next road trip. New York, Toronto, and Detroit on the trip. So that's a challenging trip for the A's. Hosmer, underhands. Lopez is there, 2 outs. That's why this is a challenging stretch for the A's, even though it is very early in the season. Bob Melvin said it today.
42.
Royals, Yankees, Blue Jays, Tigers, Astros.
Yep. It's an early test.
You got to be careful here.
Well, that also makes this tonight and the next 2 days very important. Coming off that 3-game sweep from the Angels.
Then you are gone for 10 days.
Yep.
Jed Lowry is 0 for 2. Mariners beat the Yankees 7-1 in New York. For Seattle, that's the start of a 9-game road trip. That'll take them to New York, Cleveland, and Anaheim. Well, the Mariners get their 4th win of the year. Carnes beats Severino. Chris Iannetta in his 2nd home run of the year. So the Mariners will see what they can do on the road. Good swing there by Lowry. Goodies that he's buying. 19,000 tonight.
Those are some of the pitches we've seen from Volquez tonight. Just almost the non-competitive pitches.
Yeah.
You can see the frustration because they're not anywhere close. You're not getting anything from the A's hitters, any reaction of any sort, because they're not close. But then sometimes he turns right around and paints one.
Just missed there. He wanted that. So that is 4 walks now, and that may get some action down in the bullpen. Phones are
Now
ringing.
batting left fielder, number 42, Chris Davis.
So number 42's up, and we don't know who it is. Looks like Luke Hochevar to me. We're going by the faces that we know now when the relievers start getting up.
Yep.
So it'll be Chris Davis to hit with 2 outs. The Twins are no longer winless.
They got one, huh?
Yeah, they beat the Angels 5-4. You got a run in the bottom of the 8th. Albert Pujols homered for the Angels in a losing effort. Career home run number 561. Outside corner strike. So the Twins started 0-9, but they get their first run. They have not been able to score runs, but they got 5 tonight. The Atlanta Braves won as well. They beat Miami 6-3, so the Braves got their first win. Braves are 0-9, just like the Twins. 1-1 the count. Right at 100 pitches now is Edison Volquez. Threw over 100 in both of his first 2 starts. 106 and 103. Quick throw, and getting back is Lowry. He was a long ways off. If the throw was in a better spot to Hosmer, they would have had a shot.
Well, it's so difficult to make this throw and actually make it on the right side, because Hosmer being left-handed, you want to be able to catch it to his right and put the tag down right away. And as quick as that happens, Perez, as good as he is, just a little wide left on it.
Blocked by Perez. Not a great ratio. 44 balls, 58 strikes. 4 walks, 2 strikeouts for Volquez. And as Marcus said, maybe just not real sharp tonight, but still pretty good.
Yeah, the sharpness. He hasn't commanded his changeup at all tonight, which is usually one of his better pitches. His curveball's been on and off, and fastball elevating out of the zone a handful of times.
Grabs that one. Broken bat, throws to first side, retired. Lowry is stranded, and we are on to the 7th inning. The Royals 3 and the A's 2. By McDonald's. Game 1 of the 1952 World Series. Jackie Robinson hits a home run versus the Yankees. Robinson's 3rd World Series, but his first home run in a World Series game. The Yankees would defeat the Dodgers in 7 games. So a lot of number 42s out tonight, as it should be. Volquez probably done after 6 pretty good innings of work. Top of the 7th, and Zabzinski stays out there. He'll face Morales, Gordon, and Perez. Ryan Dole was warming up last inning. Kevin Herrera starts to fill. Looks like start seeing that wanted Royals bullpen. Two 2-0 to Morales. Off the glove of Alonso. He scrambles after it, but Morales is going to have another hit. He's 3 for 3 with a walk.
Well, this ball's just smoked. Alonso didn't have a great chance at this. It kind of seemed like it took a funny hop on him. You can see Morales got that off the end of the bat, so you can see the spin. And he catches it towards the heel of the glove. It bounced back towards him, and that's why he kind of misplayed. Not necessarily misplayed it. It just took a tough hop and made it a tough play.
So hit number 11. Here's Gordon, who takes low. White Sox beat the Rays 1-0 in St. Petersburg. Chris Sale is 3-0. He had a complete game. Gave up just 2 hits.
You said the score, and I was going to say also Sale pitched.
What a surprise. Game took 2 hours and 24 minutes. So Chris Sale becoming a big story. He's 3-0. That's the way you used to do it. 224.
I like the 1-something better.
1-0. White Sox are playing great. They have won 5 straight, and the White Sox are 8-2. So maybe something brewing on the south side. We'll see. Still pretty early. Helps to have Chris Sale on your team. Two and 1 to Gordon. 2-2 to Gordon. Red Sox beat the Blue Jays 5-3 at Fenway. Porcello beat Dickey. Kimbrel got the save. Alonso picks that one, fires to second for 1, back to first. Double play. Heck of a play by Yonder Alonso. He is smooth with the glove at first base.
Well, as you said, Alonso's been so good at first base for the A's this year. You see him get to the inside. Simeon gives him a good target, and then he gets right back to the bag. And that's the biggest thing. You got the runner right in front of you. You get inside of him to give yourself a throwing lane. And it's pretty easy from there.
So 2 outs. A's have turned 3 double plays tonight. And now Salvador Perez hits. Orioles beat the Rangers 11-5 down in Arlington. Mark Trumbo's off to a great start with the Baltimore Orioles. He hit 2 home runs tonight, his 4th and 5th.
It's amazing what moving to a ballpark that maybe looks a little better to you, a little smaller. I mean, that's a great park for him as much as the ball flies out to the middle part of that field.
Rangers led in that game, but it was a 9-run 7th inning by Baltimore. So the Orioles are now 8-2. Remember, they started 7-0, lost their last 2, but got a big win tonight, 11-5.
Their starting pitching has been outstanding.
Yeah, and
after having it being awful in spring training,
and maybe a question mark coming into this year.
Yeah.
Valencia drops it, cannot pick it up, and Perez is on. He had time to be able to pick it up and throw Perez out, but when he went to pick it up, couldn't get a grip on it.
Well, watching it, he stays down. He stays down on this ball. It just catches him on the. You see it right on the inside of his glove, and then instead of going down with 2 hands to get it, he tried to flip it with his glove to his hand and just kind of popped out. That's a play that needs to be made, and he'd be the first to tell you that.
So first error in the game by either team. And there's Christian Colon. A's now have made 8 errors on the year. And this is game number 11. Missed again, 2-0. Mets beat the Indians 6-5 in an interleague game in Cleveland. Bartolo Colon got the win. Career win number 219 for Big Bart.
He just keeps going and going with that sinker.
He is awesome. Funny, when he comes in a game and I may be watching it on TV, I will sit and watch him.
Yeah.
How can you not? Talk about having fun while he's playing.
And now that he's in the National League, you get the joy of watching him hit.
Exactly right. I look where he's at. Is he coming up the next inning? I'm going to stick around. Colon went 5 1/3 tonight. Pitching for the Mets in one of his old ballparks, Cleveland. Colon tonight has struck out, popped out, and hit into a double play. Jinsky, 22 pitches out of the bullpen. Did he go? Yes, he did. So that's how the top of the 7th will end. The strikeout, the tag put on. 7th inning stretch time at the Coliseum. It's the Royals 3 and the A's 2.
Brought to you by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. And by Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience TV.
We get in-depth sports news for the Bay Area fan. Know it all with Sportsnet Central. It's brought to you by Hyundai, and it's tonight at 10:30, and it's on our sister station, CSN Bay Area. Busy sports time in the Bay Area. We'll have all the post-game reaction from this A's game. Get you ready for the Warriors and the Rockets, game 1 of their series, and the Sharks get ready for game 2. They lead their series over the Kings 1-0. Tonight here at the Coliseum, it's the Royals with a 3-2 lead, bottom of the 7th inning. Madison Volquez is out of the game after 6 innings. So the Royals go to the bullpen. We'll start with Kelvin Herrera.
Well, this is where we get,
yep.
You know, 98 to 100. This is where their bullpen starts. Herrera usually the 7th or 8th inning guy.
First pitch swinging. Alonso belts one to center, but Kane gets back there. 1 out. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and smog experts. And you could say Herrera has been really one of the best setup men in all of baseball the last couple of years.
22, Marcus Simeon.
70 games in 2014, 72 last year. There's that good fastball at 97 miles an hour. Still just 26 years old is Herrera. And a hanger. And Simeon has a base hit. So Volquez goes 6 innings. 2 runs and 4 hits, 103 pitches.
Center fielder, number 42.
But what he did tonight for the Royals, I personally think he was outstanding because he did not have his best stuff. And to me, that's a sign of someone who's matured into taking that next step in their career. You know, and that's why he's been more consistent. That's why he's gotten that much better, is because of those games. When you can give your team a chance to win a ball game without your best stuff, you've done a great job.
So the tying run is at first with 1 out. Good speed in Simeon. Coco Crisp is 0 for 3. He has grounded out twice and he has struck out. Fouls that one back. Royals made a few changes to that bullpen. They lost Ryan Madsen, obviously. He is now with the Athletics, but they signed Raheem Soria. So both of those guys got 3-year deals. And there he is.
Soria with closer experience when he was younger with the Royals. You know, that's what you kind of see, is almost teams signing guys who maybe used to be closers to be their 7th or 8th inning guys. They've been there, handled those situations.
Well, the Royals also had Jason Frazier, Franklin Morales, a left-hander. They are gone. Of course, Greg Holland, Tommy John surgery. Yep. Chambers healthy now after Tommy John surgery. High in the air toward left, shallow. Gordon in. So that's the 2nd out here in the 7th inning. And here comes Coughlin.
Now batting designated hitter.
Of course, the A's and the Royals had a little dust up last year at the beginning of the year with controversial slide into second base. And Brett Laurie with Escobar getting banged up. So the ugly side of Kelvin Herrera. But that was in the past. That seems like such a long time ago. It was last April.
Yeah. I don't think we're really going to see any more of the ugly slide type stuff
that's
either.
A good call. You're right. Yeah, whatever you thought of the slide,
yep,
Laurie would have been called out, double play. That was this year.
And there's a pitch we don't see very often from Herrera, 88-mile-an-hour changeup. He doesn't throw many of them.
If he could throw that for a strike, wow.
Exactly.
Coughlin's probably thinking, where did that come from?
There was another one.
Strikeouts in 5 innings for Herrera in the early going this year. Close pitch. He's not a strikeout guy to the tune of Wade Davis.
No, but when his stuff is right, when he's throwing, when it's 98, 99, 100, he can elevate.
He's tough to hit, though.
Yep.
And he is not just a, hey, here's my fastball, I'm going to keep pumping it in there. He does throw a fair amount of breaking balls. Yep. We just saw a couple change-ups. 2-2. There's your tying run. Coughlin swings and misses at something off speed, 89 miles an hour. So Herrera gives up a hit, a runner stranded, and we're moving to the 8th. Still 3-2 Royals.
Better than taking your family to the ballpark on a Friday night? With the Friday Family Pack, you get 4 Plaza level tickets, 4 Coliseum hot dogs, 4 medium sodas, and 4 bags of peanuts for just $60 at every Friday home game. Buy now at athletics.com/family pack. Subject to availability.
So Ryan Dole comes in the game. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and smog expert. So Dole takes over, and the first pitch is a fastball strike to Orlando. Good start for Ryan Dole. 6 innings pitched, no walks, 7 strikeouts, and he has not allowed a run.
That's what you call a perfect start.
That's nice. Why spoil it by giving up a run? That's
exactly.
What
just keep that going.
Keem Soria. Sepchinski goes an inning and a third, so he goes an inning and a third. Fernando Rodriguez an inning and a third. Swing and a miss and a slider down and away. That's 11 strikeouts for A's pitchers tonight.
Well, you see Dahl go with that slider away. All set up by that first pitch fastball that he put right there on the black. You then run it the other way, and Orlando can't really do much with that.
So Orlando, after singling in the second inning, has struck out 3 straight times. Now to the top of the order in Escobar. Good pitch there by Dull. 91 with a little movement. Little flare down the right field line, just foul. He stays down on it, and that's 2 outs here in the 8th inning. So earlier today, Henderson Alvarez took the mound.
Number 42,
simulated game.
Omar Infante.
And the reports were that he looked terrific. I know the A's are getting excited about him. He's going to, don't know when, but it's probably getting very close to him going out, pitching in the minor leagues.
I was watching him a little bit. Didn't seem like there were any sort of restrictions or anything. It looked free and easy. And his little like recoil that he does after each pitch, that was there. So looked good.
The target date has always been sometime in May, maybe middle of May. We'll see if that happens. That'll be a nice addition. Good fastball, and it's 1-2. Infante is 2 for 4, a single and a double. No messing around with Ryan Dahl. He's a rock and fire guy. He's ready to go.
He doesn't waste any time. You just get back up on the bump and throw that next pitch.
He'll grab this one. And that's the side retired, and a nice inning for Dahl. Bottom of the 8th coming up. See if the A's can get something going. It'll be Reddick, Valencia, and local Toyota dealers. 3-11-0 for the Royals, 2-5-1 for the A's. Volquez, pretty good tonight, 6 innings. Rich Hill walked 3, struck out 6. A lot of pitches in his 4 2/3 innings. Vogt with a home run. Kendrys Morales with 3 hits. He's trying to come back against this good bullpen. And now it's the veteran Joaquin Soria. So Soria takes over after Kelvin Herrera throws 1 inning. Soria was with Detroit and Pittsburgh last year and became a free agent. He signed a 3-year, $25 million deal under the Kansas City Royals. inside, and it's not that strange to see Soria in a Royals uniform because that's where his career started.
He closed for them for quite a few years, and now back in the setup role.
Now 31 years old. Good pitch there, 2-1.
Doesn't quite have the same velocity that he had before, but still has outstanding command. Big overhand breaking ball.
First 5 years in the big leagues was with the Royals. And he had some very good seasons. Right to Infante. So Reddick grounds out, 1 away here in the 8th. Couple years in Texas for Soria. Couple years in Detroit. A year and a half, and then Detroit traded him to Pittsburgh last year.
Now batting, third baseman, number 42, Danny Valencia.
So Valencia steps in with 1 out. Valencia has grounded out twice, and he has struck out. Fastball spins him back. Doolittle getting loose. Breaking ball on 1-0. Ace had just 3 hits in their last game, which was on Wednesday. Tonight they have 5. This big hop for Escobar. Early routine. 6-3 on the putout, 2 outs. And now Vogt will hit.
Now batting, the catcher.
This is what Stephen Vogt did in the 2nd inning to get the A's on the board.
Well, Vogt getting that first one of the season right there on a hanging breaking ball. Drives it out to right field. Like to see another one of those right here.
It is just a 1-run game. Vogt also singled and scored in the 4th inning. And then in the 6th, he bounced out to first. There's a shot toward right center. That'll get down for a hit. Stephen Vogt has a 3-hit game.
Well, Vogt does exactly what the A's needs. He finds a way to get on base. You can see a fastball down and away. Puts a good swing on it. And A's have a runner at first.
So here is Lowry. First pitch. Little up, little away. Lowry tonight is 0 for 2. He walked in the 6th. That one on the outside corner strike. Lowry didn't like it.
Well, you can see Perez. What made it look worse, I think, Perez set up inside. It was up and away a little. You can see Perez kind of try to frame that by bringing it back down.
Fastball at 92 miles an hour. Huge, and I mean a huge gap in right center field. The biggest gap we've seen. Look at that. Kane playing Lowry to go the other way.
Kane can cover a lot of ground, but I'm not sure he's going to cover that much.
That would be a thing of beauty. Three and one. Ripped foul, and now full count. That'll help. It'll get Stephen Vogt off and rolling. Of course, Wade Davis is the closer for the Royals, and that's just about the last guy you want to see. Lowry trying to drive a ball to the gap. Vogt being held on by Hosmer. He takes off, and the pitch is low. He walked it. And now the tying run is at second base here in the bottom of the eighth. So 5 walks tonight by Royals pitchers.
Now batting, left fielder, number 42.
So here's Chris Davis. Chris Davis is 1 for 2. Walk, RBI single, and a ground out.
And Lorenzo Cain in center has pretty much stayed in that same spot. There's still a huge gap in right center again.
Infield. Straight up. Swing and a miss.
First pitch fastball just down, and you can see Davis just underneath it. He didn't leave anything in the bag there.
He generally doesn't.
No.
And he got another fastball to hit. Chris Davis usually doesn't miss 2 fastballs.
No, but you can see he's underneath everything. You know, that first pitch was even low, and he still swung underneath it.
Well, he's seen 2 fastballs. Soria, not a real hard thrower at 91, 92 miles an hour. I'm sure he has a little bit left. Big breaking ball. Had to figure that was probably coming. Vogt at second, Lowry at first. Popped him up. Got in on the hands, and it's Orlando in right field who squeezes it, side retired. So the A's get the tying run to second base, cannot get him home. 9th inning coming up. Well, the World Series last year, of course, won by the Royals. And the guy on the hill is Ryan Matson. He was the winning pitcher in Game 4 at Citi Field. And then, of course, the Royals finished it off in Game 5 the next night. So Ryan Matson's got a World Series W. And earlier today, he got his World Series ring. Ned Yost gave him that. And Mark, you just happened to walk in right at the right time, right?
Yeah, I walked in and they were standing by the weight room, and Yost was just talking to him about showing him the ring and, you know, the whole deal. And they were, you know, just talking about last season, just good times, that kind of stuff. And I got to check it out. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And it's his second one, because his first one came with the Phillies.
Phillies, yeah.
Must be nice.
So forget winning it once. He's got 2 World Series rings.
Yep.
And it's a pretty nice looking deal. There's what you play for.
Yeah, they did a really good job.
Yeah,
you can see right around that top edge, kind of has the little crowns for the Royals on the side. It's really cool looking.
So congratulations to all the Royals. It's good people there in Kansas City. Two and 2 the count to Lorenzo Cain, who has been on base 3 times, 2 walks and a single. And that one, a fastball right by him. Little giddy up on that one from Ryan Dull. Rex Hudler on the left, Ryan Lefevre on the right, and that ring that we showed you is actually the ring of Rex Hudler. It was not Ryan Matson's ring. Hud said, yeah, you guys can look at it, you can touch it, you can wish you had it, but give it back. And we did. So thanks, Hud. Doolittle coming in. Post-game live for the A-Team, all 4 broadcasters, Catronio, Korak, Mulder, and myself. We'll get together, have an unscripted roundtable discussion about tonight's game. It's only on A's post-game live and 95.7, the game after the game. So Mark Mulder gets to experience his first A-Team, and Mark, you'll never be the same, I'm telling you. It's something. You can say what you really felt the whole night. If something's bugging you about the game,
you can get it out.
That's what we talk about. Doolittle comes in. Appearance number 6. And he faces Hosmer, followed by Kendrys Morales.
Well, the fans don't like it, but that was a close one. And you could even see Hosmer. He kind of gave it a ooh as he's pulling it back, and then gives it. You know, the hitters always nod their head no.
And that one's belted to center and hit well. Coco's back, turns around, gone. So Hosmer homers, and that is a huge insurance run. 4-2 Royals lead. First home run of the year for Hosmer.
Well, Doolittle's season hasn't quite gotten off the way he would have liked, and this is just a fastball, middle, and you can see Hosmer just all over that pitch. He was looking dead red, and he got what he liked, and for a night game, that ball was crushed right there.
So here's Morales, still just 1 out. So that's the 3rd home run Doolittle has allowed already this year. Do you see anything, Mark, that's a concern? Is the velocity, I guess that's maybe the first thing you look at, but it's up a little bit from last year when he was still probably recovering. It's 93, 94.
Well, I think when I've seen him being effective, the ball's actually up a little further, and he gets the swings and misses. Or maybe you mix in those and you get the balls down in the strike zone, but that pitch is just kind of middle. You can see Vogt's glove, kind of just the bottom of the mask. You know, it's not high enough, but it's right where the hitters like it. That's the thing. I saw the one he gave up the other day, and it was kind of in that same spot.
Yeah. That one at 93 miles an hour. Morales strikes out. 13 strikeouts for ace pitchers tonight.
You can see Vogt wanting this one. There's another one. He kind of missed that location. You can see on Doolittle's face, he wasn't really happy with that. That's not where he wants that pitch. He wants to elevate that.
So 2 outs. Here's Alex Gordon, who is 1 for 4. First pitch is a slider down and away. That's the big fella, Wade Davis. That one could have been a strike. 93 on the inside corner, but called the ball. Swing and a miss. Gordon's hit tonight was a single in the 5th after striking out the first couple times. Outside corner, 2-2. For the A's in the 9th inning, it'll be Alonso, Simeon, and Crisp. Simeon backhands, straightens up, throws, in time, side retired. Hosmer with his first home run of the season. So the Royals now have a 4-2 lead with Wade Davis coming in.
The player of the game, and that's Edison Volquez. I said earlier, he's changed. He's become more of a top-tier starter. He wasn't always in his career, but he made pitches tonight without his best stuff, and that's what That's the big difference to me. You see 103 pitches. He didn't have the strikeout stuff, but he kept his team in it, and they're in a position to win the ball game, as I said, without his best stuff.
So there he is, folks. Wade Davis, maybe the best closer in baseball. I think you could make the argument that he is. He's 4 for 4 in save opportunities this year. And his first pitch to Alonso is a strike.
Well, once he went to the bullpen for Wade Davis, because he was a starter earlier in his career, his stuff changed. You know, it got better. So he's got a few different pitches to work with. And the biggest thing is that right there is he commands every one of them. So he'll throw you cutters on the inner half, outer half, whether you're left-handed or right-handed. He changes eye levels up and down. And those first two were 91, 92, but he'll get it up to 95.
Well, he came over in that big James Shields trade. This is his 4th year with the Rose, but his first year in Kansas City was 2013. He started 24 games. His ERA was 5.5.
Yep.
Remember they put him in the bullpen? Started to look like, hey, maybe this is the spot. And then 2014, he was set up, man, and he was unbelievable. And just as good last year as a closer. He had a 0.94 ERA last year.
I mean, it was a joke. It really was.
69 appearances. Good swing there by Alonso. Hits it high and foul. Three and 2. Simeon to follow. And like maybe a cutter on the inside or a slider, and Alonso chased it. Tough pitch to lay off of. So that's since 2014. And he's terrific. And really, even last year, Holland was still closing last year, but then Holland got hurt. Davis took over completely the 9th inning and just rolled right through. Fair ball to first. Osmer has it. And Simeon is retired on 1 pitch, so quickly 2 outs.
Well, and everyone talked about how good Betances is. I mean, he's a half a run better.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, it's not even close.
He's special.
Center fielder, number 42, Coco Chris.
Well, the guy who has the most at bats against Wade Davis for the A's is Danny Valencia. He's got 13. So top of the order, Coco has to get on to keep the ball game going. First pitch is a bit outside. Coco 0 for 4. A couple of ground outs, a strikeout, and a fly ball to left field. And then that one is a strike. I think Davis can maybe steal a strike with a couple different pitches, and when he needs a strikeout, get it up there 94, 95 miles an hour, maybe even more. Should do it. Lorenzo Cain comes in, and Wade Davis has a 3 up, 3 down 9th inning, and the Kansas City Royals take game 1 of the series over the A's. For the Athletics, it's their 4th consecutive loss. So Volquez gets the win, Davis gets the save, and Rich Hill takes the loss. Took 3 hours and 15 minutes in front of 19,451. The final score tonight on Jackie Robinson Day. It's the Kansas City Royals 4 and the Oakland A's 2. You've been watching Oakland A's baseball on CSN California, part of the NBC Sports Group. Don't go away. A's postgame live with Brody Brazil and Bip Roberts starts right now.